What did you do after the moms at your daughter's school called CPS on you? I'm a single mom to my 7-year-old daughter Lily. I work as an ER nurse, which means crazy hours, and sometimes I look like I haven't slept in days because I haven't. Lily goes to this nice elementary school where most of the other moms are stay-at-home parents with perfect hair and matching workout sets. I'm usually the one rushing in wearing scrubs with my hair in a messy bun, grabbing Lily from aftercare at the last possible minute. I knew some of the moms judged me, but I didn't realize how bad it was until January. I got called into the principal's office on a Tuesday morning. My heart dropped because you never get good news from a principal's office. Mrs. Davis sat me down and told me that CPS had been contacted about Lily. Someone reported that my daughter came to school in dirty clothes, brought inadequate lunches, and seemed neglected at home. I almost threw up right there in her office. Mrs. Davis was actually really kind about it. She said she didn't believe the reports were accurate, but the school had to take it seriously. A CPS worker would be coming to our apartment the next day to investigate. I went home and cried for an hour. Then I got angry, really angry, because I knew exactly what this was about. 2 weeks earlier, there was a school fundraiser bake sale. All the moms brought these elaborate homemade cakes and cookies decorated like they came from a bakery. I was working a double shift the night before, so I stopped at the grocery store at midnight and bought a box of store-bought chocolate chip cookies. Nothing fancy, just the regular kind in the plastic container. When I dropped them off the next morning, this mom named Jennifer literally wrinkled her nose and said, "Oh, we were hoping for homemade contributions." Another mom, Stephanie, loudly announced that her daughter wasn't allowed to eat anything with preservatives. I was too exhausted to argue, so I just left the cookies on the table and went to work. The CPS worker showed up on Wednesday. Her name was Ms. Garcia, and she was professional but thorough. She inspected every room in our apartment, checked our fridge, looked at Lily's clothes, and asked Lily questions privately. I was sweating the entire time, even though I knew our home was fine. After about an hour, Ms. Garcia sat down with me and said everything looked completely normal. Lily was healthy, well-fed, and clearly loved. The case would be closed. But she also told me something interesting. The report claimed Lily came to school in dirty clothes multiple times. Ms. Garcia asked if I knew what that might be about. I told her about an incident from November. Lily had worn her favorite jeans to school. They were light blue with little paint stains on the knees from an art project we did at home. She loved those jeans and wore them twice a week. Apparently, Jennifer told her daughter that paint-stained clothes were for poor kids, and her daughter repeated it to Lily. I found out when Lily came home crying, saying she looked poor. I was furious, but I let it go because I didn't want to cause drama. After Ms. Garcia left, I decided I was done being quiet. I requested a meeting with the principal and demanded to know who filed the report. Mrs. Davis couldn't tell me officially, but she hinted that it came from multiple sources during the bake sale incident. I did some detective work, talked to one of the younger teachers who was friendly with me. She confirmed that Jennifer and Stephanie had been talking loudly in the parking lot about how someone should call CPS on the nurse mom who clearly couldn't handle parenting and working. I printed out my work schedule showing I worked 50 hours a week. I printed out Lily's perfect attendance record and good grades. I even printed out our grocery receipts showing I spent $150 a week on food for the two of us. Then I went to the next PTA meeting. Jennifer and Stephanie were sitting in the front row looking smug. When they opened the floor for concerns, I stood up. I didn't yell or curse. I just calmly explained that someone had filed a false CPS report on me and my daughter. That CPS had investigated and found zero evidence of neglect. That making false reports wastes resources meant for children who actually need help. The room went dead silent. Jennifer's face turned bright red. I looked straight at her and said, "If anyone has concerns about my parenting, maybe try talking to me first instead of calling the authorities over store-bought cookies." Then I walked out. The fallout was insane. Some moms apologized to me privately, saying they never knew Jennifer and Stephanie made the call. The principal actually asked Jennifer to step down from the PTA board. Stephanie's husband apparently ripped her a new one when he found out because filing false CPS reports can have legal consequences. Best part? 3 other working moms came up to me the next week and said they'd been afraid to bring store-bought stuff to school events because of moms like Jennifer. Now we rotate who brings what, and nobody cares if it's homemade or not. Jennifer ended up pulling her kid from the school at the end of the year. Lily's still thriving, and I still show up in scrubs with messy hair, but now nobody says a word about it.